Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Tuesday, September 24th, 2024, post market report. Anybody here surprised that we have yet again new record highs for the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500, with the NASDAQ actually putting on the biggest gain? You watching silver today? People, let me say this, man. Nobody nails this market better than we do. We are so on top of this. It's not even funny. Uh, we're making a positive difference in the world, and that's what matters to me. And we have a lot to talk about. Let's start off with the stock market. What's going on here? We continue to get round after round after round of abysmal economic news, for which we will cover here. You're going to laugh. You're going to laugh at some of this stuff. It's too much. Meanwhile, the market keeps going higher, record high, record high. So let's put this together, you and me, real quick. We called this before it happened. We explained what would happen as an effect, deliberate effect of what the Fed is doing with regard to artificially suppressed rates, with regard to obviously currency devaluation, with regard, getting a weird number here on my phone here. It's probably the Federal Reserve. They're telling me to back off. We'll talk more about the Federal Reserve later on. So there's a bunch of factors involved in what we're seeing with regard to not just the freaking freak show of a stock market, but with regard to commodity prices, silver. Okay. So there's a balancing or rebalancing act going on here with regard to obviously global currencies, status post the Fed cutting rates here, joining again the European Central Bank, the Swiss National Bank, the Canadian National Bank, other central banks jumping on board here as well. The mechanism here of artificially suppressed rates is having a ripple effect, as we said that it would. So the currency markets are still balancing out. Debt markets are still balancing out. And with regard to the stock markets on the back of all this, the driver is the debt market. You know that it drives everything, period. Action in the debt market is the number one force propelling the prices of everything right now. Henceforth, why central banks have gotten in here and since the meltdown of 08 decided to rig the debt market, because everything prices off of that. You all know this. You've been well versed. Nobody knows this better than you do. But with regard to the stock market, so we have several factors involved. And this, again, is also with regard to pretty much assets across the board. But if we want to stick to the stock market to try to understand the illusion here, again, it's not real, right, Mitch? Thank you. It's an illusion that is being maintained. So artificially suppressed rates, a currency getting destroyed here, and we haven't seen anything yet with regard to that. We got a very interesting warning from the Federal Reserve, and I'm going to say this is a red flag, and we're going to talk about that in a moment with regard to inflation. Not going to surprise a single one of you out here. Not one is going to be surprised, but we do need to cover it to keep ourselves way ahead of the curve. So anyway, with regard to the stock market, pricing in now what's happening, currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates, the market is going to start to trade on higher multiples. That means people, investors, are going to be willing to pay more to own a share of stock in virtually any, of course, blue chip company, member of the S&P 500, of course, and it's going to push the market much higher. There's just no doubt about it, but it's not real. You have to understand all this is going to do with regard to the stock market, because the stock market, you have to understand, is a derivative. The stock, everything is a derivative for that matter of what's happening here in the debt market. All derives value from that. It's not commodities, which are priced in the derivative. Make this up. Gold and silver derive value from the derivative instead of the opposite way. Now, the opposite way, it's like, for example, Apple stock. Instead of the stock itself dictating the value of the derivative, it's the other way. It's upside down, but this is how they manipulate the price of gold, silver, commodities across the board, including crude oil. None of it has any bearing on reality. There's no price discovery. There's people, this guy has been out here with all of you for over a decade, and I've been telling you that there is no price discovery at all anymore. There's not a single fundamental factor driving anything. It's all about easy money, easy money, easy money. Why is it that Kamala isn't speaking out about this? Why is it that Trump isn't speaking out about this? Oh, wait a minute. They were both calling for the same thing. Let's lower rates, which of course means a weaker currency. And what does that do? It vaults the Federal Reserve higher on the pyramid, way up there. They're playing right into it, of course. The two creatures, things, subhuman entities, they're not human. Trump, not human. Kamala, not human. And they are the enemy because they are obviously aligned here with the Federal Reserve, okay? They're calling for lower rates. No, they're promising you. We promise you lower rates. It's going to be beautiful. All it's doing, of course, is making the Fed stronger. And people are sitting by here letting themselves get destroyed. But anyway, so with regard to the stock market, we haven't seen anything yet. Record. And I know about all the crash callers. I know about next month. Yes, I promise you, I've been wrong for 100% of the time. But I know that next month, it's going to happen on this day because it says so. Oh, it's going to happen. This time I'm right. This time, I was reading it wrong last time. Now I know where it's going to happen. Make it up. They're going to be wrong again. Record, period, the end. Now let us move forward. So we already outlined the stock market, silver, commodities, you got it. Now let's talk about this. The consumer is being decimated, again, via the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation, leading up to the red flag by the Federal Reserve here. Do you realize that 70%? Don't take my word for this. Don't believe anything I say. No. 70% of the economy here in the United States is based on consumer spending. And the consumer is getting wiped out, carrying their highest debt loads in history. And every single day, it gets worse. Now, consumer sentiment, consumer confidence falls the most in 3 years, basically has fallen through the floor. Consumers are getting destroyed. Here's Reuters. U.S. housing prices hit new record high in July. What did I write here? Oh, it's not going to stop. Now, there's a lot of people who are just waiting for those housing prices to come down because demand is falling and people can't afford anything. You can sit here and wait until doomsday. Ain't happening, okay? With regard to currency devaluation, priced in dollars, real estate's going much higher. People are being destroyed. The cost of building materials and labor skyrocketing. So forget about it. This is deliberate. You cannot own a home. You must rent. You must be a slave to some overlord. You understand? Does this sound about right to you? Is it hitting you the right way? Of course it is, because you know it's the truth. Not going to stop. Record high, going to keep on going. Period, the freaking end. Now, let us move forward here. So Goldman Sachs, the super bank here, is reporting a surge in gold trading as prices hit new record highs. Now, the number one drivers here, according to this, and you know this to be true, are hedge funds, and guess who else? Guess who else is buying gold like it's going out of style? Central banks. So think about it. Central banks are doing what we're doing. They're betting against their own system. Their own system that they are systematically destroying piece by piece. Come on, man. It's too easy to understand. They're betting against their own system. So, let's see. Maybe we should own gold, more specifically silver. Maybe we should gain access to commodities or more exposure. Yes, absolutely. And stay long the market. Continue to buy the dips moving forward, people, because this is a free-for-all. This is what's known as a free-for-all. Multiple expansion. It's happening right before our eyes. Currency devaluation right before our eyes. And it's not going to stop. There's nobody here. Nobody, not Kamala, of course, not Trump, no way, because we know what Trump already did. We know what Kamala did too. Kamala and Biden did the same thing. Okay, they've empowered the Federal Reserve, pull cash into the now, none more so than Trump. Trump did this more than Biden and Obama combined, but he was going to bring down the Federal Reserve, and he's going to do it now. He's going to do it now this time, because last time he didn't do it, but this time I know he's going to do it. Morons. Anyway, let's move forward. Now, this is where this gets kind of interesting here. You and I understand that the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates means a weaker currency. They're destroying it. It's a race to the bottom. We're all paying for it. Now, this is what happens. So Fed Bowman here. Inflation could bounce back. Oh, I wrote red flag on here. Let me explain this to you in case you don't know. Jeffrey, thank you. Yes, SLB, it's popping. Of course, silver's popping. I mean, believe me, I'm watching this stuff. Let me explain this to you. Since day one, the Fed knew that this was not going to be temporary. This was not going to be transitory. Are we on the same page so far? We were lied to. You mean we were lied to by central bankers and politicians who all said the same thing pretty much? Oh, it's going to go away. You'll wait and see. No, this was a lie since day one. But let me ask you, anybody here with a fraction of one functioning brain cell, if the Fed is in here along with other central banks, artificially suppressing rates, which means destroying the purchasing power of their currency, obviously now, as the world economy is contracting, they are ballooning the global money supply. You don't need to be a mathematician here, okay, or a rocket scientist or an MD, PhD, Nobel laureate. Pick some kind of a title to figure what this means. This means that, again, more inflation. Now, understand how this works. There is a lag time, and it can be dramatic between at the time when cash is magically created out of nothing, has to make its way through the economy and then to you, okay? Now, the fact of the matter is, since Obama took office, this economy, the world economy, on the back of the financial crisis, we're in the worst financial crisis that's ever been seen on record right now, but you're not supposed to know that either. You know, it's you can't make it up, but that's exactly the truth here. So all that extra cash that was pulled into existence, Obama, Trump, Biden, the lag effect, because the economy has been dead and buried, essentially, takes years to make its way through the economy. We're just starting to see the brunt of it now. We haven't seen anything yet. There's another wave coming and another wave. And the Fed's making sure another wave is coming as well, but it's going to be a lag effect as well. It's going to be the same scenario. And every wave that comes through destroys us more. You understand? This is a war. I can't say this another way. Central banks around the world, that's their bases. They're winning because we have nobody here to help us. Okay. If you think anyone's going to help you here, you got to help yourself. You cannot imagine, because no one's going to do it. And I don't care how much you believe in one person or another, you are done. The consumer is done, and no one's here helping you, and they're not going to. So anyway, that's a red flag here, because what they're trying to tell you is, people, you just wait to see what's coming. But again, they're going to use a scapegoat. Right now, the world economy is destabilizing. Period. The end. And this is by design. No comedy of errors got us here. No mistake got us here, or anything else along those lines. War, expanding war, the funding for war, the build up to war. Okay. That was Trump's job, was to vastly rebuild the military so it can be used now. You understand? None of this is by accident. And every person that sits behind the Resolute desk is selected. They're told what to do. Period. That's how it works. If you don't understand that, I am sorry. This is not a democracy. This is not a republic. This is we're being controlled here by the real government, which is, of course, is the Federal Reserve in this case. Now, speaking about the Federal Reserve, I want to read this to you, and I want to tell you how many responses we've gotten so far. As you all know, I am prepared to put pretty much my life at risk here, understanding that they're going to come after me in every aspect I can. I'm putting myself, my time, my reputation, and my own money here to move forward with a lawsuit against the Federal Reserve and the U.S. Treasury. So I want to talk about this. At the time I did this, the video had gotten 18,000 views. Now keep this in mind, the 10% rule. I guess I'm going to bring that up. Most of you probably know what the 10% rule is, but there is a 10% rule. And in case you've never heard of it before, you're going to learn now. So anyway, I wrote Lions. This is the poll that I was talking about running earlier this morning when I ran my morning video. Now, what we need to do, people, is no small endeavor. I go on to say this is a Herculean task. We, you and me, are going to take on the most powerful institution on earth. This is the Federal Reserve, and I need you to commit to this. Okay, there is no other way. I need all of you to make this happen. Otherwise, we're going nowhere. Hold that thought. Okay, now committing to this will involve funding. I can't do this myself. There is in no way. But if all of us were to contribute just a small amount to this, and I mean a small amount, we could come up with way more than we actually need. Let's move forward here. Committing to this will involve funding, and we are going to need a team of lawyers. Realistically, and I wrote this, and a lot of you brought up this as a point. I wrote, we need $250,000 to pull this off. That actually may be a small number. Again, we're going up against an institution that has an unlimited funds. Okay, so yes, but it's a good starting point, and I think we can pull it off if we all got together and did this. Let us move forward here. If we can, and I wrote this, and you know this already, if we can take down one central bank, they all fall. It would start a domino effect. I've been telling you this since forever. So wherever you may be on this beautiful planet, God-given gift, thank the Almighty for this to all of us here. Okay, this is critical. We need to support this no matter where you are in the world. Wherever you are in this world, you need to help us support this because we're helping you as well. So anyway, I go on to say, this poll is critical. I need thousands of you to say, yes, I am committed to this. There was a reason why I said thousands. 10% rule. Let's go. So are you with me? It's really up to you. Now, I wrote sometime in the near future, I will be putting out a crowdfunding link for this. So just hold your fire. There's nowhere to even put your cash now for this crowdfunding. Now, at the time I did this, the video got 18,000 views. Of that 18,000 views, it got only 1,000 of you responded to this. That's extremely disappointing. Now, out of the 1,000 of you that responded here, 76% said, yes, I am committed and willing to fund this. 24% say they're not interested. You know why they're not interested? Because they're looking at their 401k plans. They're looking at their investment plans, and I am a multi-millionaire on paper. You think you have something? You got nothing. You got digits on a screen. You have nothing. And this 24%, they're going to be begging for help when this thing comes down. Now, unfortunately, these 24%, they probably have investments in this market, and they probably follow this blog. I'm going to tell everyone when to get out of this market when I'm getting out. So unfortunately, these people are going to benefit again, and they will not contribute. You understand? That's how it works here. It goes back to my, every month I ask all of you to support my blog with just $5 on the first of every month. 1/10 of 1% of you actually do. It amounts to almost nothing, and I generally give it all away to charities I believe in anyway. But it's amazing. So let's stick to the 10% rule. This blog has about 250,000 people that subscribe to it. Out of that, each video gets about 10% of those views, about 25,000 each video. So that's the 10% rule. Now, I was really thought that, that 10%, that maybe 10% of you would respond to this, and this it'll turn out to be about 2,500. Well, what this means, again, going back to the 10% rule, although 76% of you here, so 76% of 1,000, it's 760, very basic math here, right? All right. Out of that 760 people that said they're committed, about 10% of you will actually commit to this. So it seems like we are way, way, way off. And unfortunately, we're going to have to put this off too. I thought we were ready to do it now. That's okay. Looks like we're not ready. There's not enough people to back this up. I need thousands and thousands and thousands of signatures alone. We're not going to get it here. You understand that? So forget about signatures. We're not going to get any cash for this, a very infinitesimal amount. And with regard to signatures, it's not going to work. So what we're going to do with this, we're not going to give up. I'm not ready to give up. That means we're putting this on the back burner. You see this 24%? They need to suffer a little bit more. When they see their 401k plans and investment plans evaporating, when they feel the pressure of losing their job and everything else, maybe That's the only time people take action, is when life becomes too tough. Right now, this 24% that's not interested, oh, trust me, they're going to be interested. And we're going to wait patiently. We're going to sit back. I'm going to sit back and wait. I'm going to sit back and wait. And when this whole thing comes down, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh because it's these same people who are going to suffer the most. And frankly, I got all my lions covered here. All of you here. We got this. So with that said, for now, unfortunately, but that's okay. You know, you move forward, you take a little bit of a nudge back. You got to figure out where you're at. I know where we are at right now. It should be pretty obvious to you. Okay, we're not there yet. There's not even close enough people to support this. I figured with 250,000 subs, we could do something. Not strong enough. We're not strong enough at all, unfortunately. And, what I was hoping was we could get thousands and thousands of people involved and just a few dollars a piece, a few dollars a piece. We could fund this and then some. That was my dream. Okay. Obviously, it ain't going to happen. And, I get it, man. I get it. That's okay. It just means that we are not ready. They are not ready. I know a lot of us are ready. And we want this thing. For now, what we're going to do is stick to our plan. We will not deviate, meaning we're going to bet against the system, just like central banks are doing right now. Hedge funds, too. They're doing the same thing. Do you realize that the biggest hedge funds on this earth right now, along with central banks, are hoarding gold? They're the number one buyers of gold right now? Absolutely. They're betting against the system, betting against the debt, becoming their own central banks. You see what I'm talking about here? Like we've been doing for freaking years. How about silver? How about somebody answer this guy? You must have just got here. Yes, we're all keeping our eyes on silver, sir. We know what's going here. We've been in this thing for well over a decade. SK, thank you so much. You understand? So anyway, people, look, man, with regard to the market, again, expect multiple expansions. In other words, like I said, investors are going to be willing to pay more to own a share of stock because of what's happening here with currency devaluation and with regard to artificially suppressed rates. All we're going to hear is more promises of this moving forward. Whoever is selected, they were both saying the same thing. Trump started it. Kamala said, wow, that's a great idea. Let me start promising people lower rates too, because they're too stupid to know what it actually means with regard to currency devaluation. But what would you expect from like these MAGA supporters? I mean, look, I'm not talking about Trump supporters. I get it, man. And Kamala supporters, both groups are, I mean, we're talking about extreme amounts of brain damage on either side. We need to be supporting ourselves, because if we had the ability to govern ourselves, we can't even raise enough cash here to even begin to take on the most powerful organization on earth. This is what's happened to the people. It's a hand me culture now. Oh no, give me. I don't want to give you nothing, but I want you to give me. I really thought we could come together on this, man. I really thought so. I'll look into that, Robert. The guy I think I got is the right guy. I spoke to him for a long time. He's very passionate about this. And we'll see where this goes. I think his thinking is in the right place. I would say I vetted him pretty well. And it's okay. We're going to sit back and we're going to bide our time. It doesn't mean this is over, my lovely friends. It just means we're not there yet. We don't have enough people to back this up. Don't even be upset about it. You should be smiling about this, honestly. It just means we need to regroup. You understand? That's what it means. We're not ready. And that's fine. We just do our thing. We're not going to change. We're going to buy the market every day that comes along. Again, the mechanism here is too simple to understand. It's a free-for-all with regard to commodities and currency devaluation. You tell me what you want to do. You want to be in a central bank issued note right now? You got to be as high as a kite. And then beyond that right now, you're being decimated. The consumer decimated. Prices continuing to rise. It won't stop. It's unbelievable. Why is it? Let me ask you. Why is it that, let's see, not one mainstream media outlet, let's say CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, nor Kamala, nor Trump, is coming out explaining to you what they actually mean by promising you lower rates, which is what the Fed actually just did. Okay, they're working with the Fed to promise you lower rates because that makes the Fed stronger, exponentially stronger, by the way, not just stronger. It allows the Fed to have their own free for all. Now they can create whatever amount of cash out of thin air that they want to and buy as much debt as they want to. They can buy the short end of the yield curve. They can sell the long end of the yield curve. Whatever they want to do to manipulate the whole entire curve, they can make sure they open up that doorway for cash to make its way into the stock market, fostering the illusion of some kind of prosperous economy. That's what Trump did. Rah, rah, rah. Look at the economy. Economy was dead. Dead. And how many of you believed it was strong? You did, didn't you? You did believe that. No, all you had to do was look at the money velocity, the rate at which cash moves through the economy. You cannot have a strong economy. Thank you, I am addicted. I love that. You can't have a strong economy or even a healthy economy without the rate at which cash is moving through it going up. Look at the money velocity under Obama. Look at the money velocity under Trump. Look at it under Biden. Yeah! Now we're getting a tick up. That's because all those extra bills that were created by Obama, Trump, and Biden are now chasing the same amount of goods. Duh. This is economics 101. This isn't even advanced economics or finance. This is the most basic level, but no one knows that. Everyone thinks, oh, the economy was so strong under Trump and he was the greatest. You can't make this stuff up. Biden said we're the envy of the world. That's how stupid he thinks you are too. See, wife, thank you. You can't make this up, man. It's an impossibility. It's an impossibility. And the Florida government is not adopting constitutional money, George. I'm sorry to tell you that. You can dream all you want. Ain't happening. There is no way. The Federal Reserve would have Florida nuked before they would do that. You understand? This organization is so powerful. They have the full backing of the United States military, including its nuclear arsenal. And they will point that weapon inward or outward at anyone, at any group of people. You understand? And we're not strong enough. And I found that out today. We're not even close to being strong enough yet. But that's okay. That just means we need to regroup. And we will. We will strike at the right time because we're lions. And that's what lions do. You understand? Anyway, is there anything you guys and girls want to cover? Yes, I'm very happy about silver. The price is so artificially suppressed, it's not even funny. And what's going to happen here, you have to understand, as cash makes its way into the stock market, multiple expansions, as I was just telling you about, people willing to pay more for a share of stock, instead of going into commodities, although we did put on a really nice gain with silver, gold here. I have it right here. These are the gains for the market. And that's what happened today to gold, silver, and crude oil. All right. Again, the mechanism here of artificially suppressed rates. Thank you, Stephen. I really appreciate that so much. And currency devaluation is unfortunately going to, although we're going to see gains here in commodity prices, and they're going to be muted very much so until the meltdown. You have to understand, why are you and I holding gold? More specifically, silver. Why are we gaining exposure to commodities here? Why are we having some cryptocurrency as well in our portfolios? Not because we're waiting for it to go up right now. It's because of this. And this might actually answer your question here, Axiom. After the end of the, let's talk about that. Eventually, what's going to happen here? Again, the meltdown in the debt market. The debt market, there's no words to describe what it is. Okay, it goes beyond a hyper bubble. J.D. Vance just yesterday, what did he say? He said the debt market, they might cause a meltdown if Trump is, because it may get out of hand if Trump is elected, which is a selection. Obviously, he knows this thing is a monster. Okay, will they use Trump or war or a scamdemic or something to say, well, that's the reason why the debt market imploded on itself? Joseph knows what I'm talking about. Thank you as well. There's a scapegoat. Maybe Vance is setting it up. They all know. They already know what's going on here. You understand? It's all a show. It's all a show for the people. The fact that Vance pointed at the debt market tells me that he actually knows what's going on. Can't tell you about it. He can't tell you that the debt market right now is a nightmare scenario. What he can say is that maybe they'll implode the debt market and then blame it on Trump. That's what he said. Okay, you don't believe he said that? Look it up for yourself. I gave the man credit for saying, hey, at least he's looking at the debt market, but he can't tell you the truth. He also can't tell you the truth that this process is going on and on. It's going to get monumentally worse. There's no way to stop it. And the fact that his boss, Trump, was promising you lower rates along with Kamala just means it's going to get even worse than it is now. But you see, he can't tell you that truth. It's called a lie by omission. You see these people like Vance and all these things, they think we're smarter than we are. I challenge Vance, Trump, Kamala, anybody to a debate on the economy and the financial anything, okay? And I'll do it for free. Behind closed doors, whatever it might be. I will decimate them. Decimate. They'll walk out of the room sucking their thumb wearing a dirty diaper because they will have no idea. Maybe they do, okay? I think Trump knows because he did go to business school. Doesn't mean he learned anything there. It doesn't seem like it. Kamala don't know. All right, she's a lawyer. I'm not calling her dumb. That's not her forte. Okay, the economy, the financial markets, that's my thing. And I will stand toe-to-toe with anyone who they are, every one of you who follows this blog. If you've been with me for 6 months, you can stand toe-to-toe with any of these freaks. No doubt about it. I think we're on the same page. Anyway, so I want you to understand something here. This is a massive, massive red flag. What this tells me and should tell you is they're well aware of what was going on. It was never temporary. It was never transitory. It's going to get even worse moving forward, and they're making sure it happens. Again, hedge funds, central banks loading up on gold, betting against the system that they've created. Housing, home prices, new record. Consumer confidence cratering through the floor. Consumers getting decimated. Do you really believe this is going to turn around? Is it just going to stop? Please make it stop. It's not going to stop. I was willing to at least lead the charge here to try to make it stop. Otherwise, it's laughable. Oh, Greg, this has been tried before, so we can't do it again. That means we need to surrender. I told you we were going to get pushback here. Robert, thank you. I told just expect it. The people who are just in some corner sucking their thumb off, waiting for someone else to do it, and then when someone else comes along that is willing to do it, they don't want to back it up. People, in your life, you couldn't make this stuff up. Anyway, before I open this up to some questions, because that's what I want us to talk here. I want to say thank you for those thumbs up. I know we can improve on that. I also want to say how disappointed I am that we only got 1,700 people here. It's incredible. It's just too much. Please let's do something about those thumbs up, people, and comment. I don't care if you write hi, Greg, or just hello. We want the comments. We are welcoming opinions. We are welcoming a counter point of view. That's what we want. With regard to the people out here, the personal attacks, I love that. And if you've seen how many I've responded to myself, it's amazing how they work, these people. They can't help themselves. You bait them even slightly. There must be MAGA people. Sorry. You bait them slightly, like Trump. Sorry. And he goes off. Can't control himself. It's just blah, 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 blah. Brrr. I love it. Let them do that. I bait them and I bait them and I bait them at every chance I get. They're too easy to bait. I play with them all the time. Dale, thank you. I appreciate that so much. Yes, that's you, but that's us. We are the super people. Okay, because we're making a positive difference in the world. Maybe not so with the Fed right now. We're working on it. The plan's over here. Maybe we need to do our, this is not a protest, okay? We are going to the Federal Reserve July 4th, 2025 to raise awareness. I want people recording this on their phones. I want it to get all over social media. I was hoping that we were going to get thousands of people there. I don't know now, after seeing how many people are not behind this. A couple of hundred, I guess. Maybe we'll be surprised. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Exactly, Henry. They are not federal, and they have no reserves. Dan Anderson, I'm real proud of you. I'm real proud of you. But you see, by you saying you hate Taylor Swift, it doesn't endanger anyone. Unfortunately, even if I said it, I don't have a big enough following. But when someone with a massive following, half of them are deranged, will bomb threats and everything else, like we saw with the whole dog eating thing and pet eating thing. They had to shut down schools because of that. Words have power, especially if they come from someone that's deranged. You understand? I think we're pretty much on the same page. with regard to that. They're all deranged. They're all deranged. And I'm not just picking on Trump. Kamala, just as deranged. And she's the enemy. Kamala is the enemy, along with Trump, because they have aligned themselves with our enemy. Our enemy is the Federal Reserve. We promise you lower rates. That was Trump first. Kamala said, sounds like a great idea. Hey, let me adopt that from Trump. She also adopted the crypto thing. Did you know that? Trump, with his backing up of cryptocurrency, Kamala said, hey, that's a good idea too. He's the crypto king. I'm going to be the crypto queen. Make it up, man. You make it up. Now Trump started this crypto business, this crypto banking thing where investors in the company can make cash lending and buying crypto. No constitutional money system, because see, that would hurt the Federal Reserve. Can't have that. He has to promise you lower rates along with Kamala to bring us to our knees. We're not going to our knees. You understand that? I think we're on the same page. At least I hope so. But maybe Kamala will do the same thing. Let me start a crypto business as well. And you can make money in transactions. This is really great, because we're going to make the United States the crypto capital of the world, not the constitutional money. No, Trump said we're going to be the crypto capital of the world. Timothy, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, exactly. Both candidates may be pro wrestlers. It's a game. You know what? I wish we could get Ron Paul. All right, people. Anyway, let me take some questions from all of you right now. And is there anything specific that you guys and girls want to cover? Scammer, queen of the cons. Now, Don is the king of the con jobs. Telling people to buy his stock at $40, it's now 12. His own followers got decimated by his own call, and they're going to get decimated even more so moving forward. There is no bigger con man. Here comes the con man with his con plan. Crazy bald head. Bob Marley, probably one of my favorite artists of all time. The king of the con is our friend Don. Hey. It's all a con job. This whole thing is a con job. The markets are a con job. Multiple expansion, con job. Pulling cash out of assets it should be going into. This entire freaking nightmare here. My favorite crypto besides Dash. I never said Dash was my favorite. I said I like Dash. I'm still in Dash. I still own it. I did buy XRP recently, people. Come on, man. Get with the program. Do you guys and girls not follow some of these people that come out with these questions? Come on. Do you not understand? I hate answering questions. I talk about every freaking day to people here. I just bought XRP. Am I going to add to that position? I was thinking about it. I actually might. I'd like to see it drop. I would buy on more XRP. With regard to Bitcoin, I'm riding on their dime right now. You know how I did that. I'm not even going to go over it again. Dash over to Bitcoin. That's a good one. I like that. Anyway, people, what else you guys and girls want to talk about? Anything? Bill, talk to Bill. Listen to me, Bill. I'll tell you again. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to tell you again. I already explained what's happening with the currency markets and what's happening with the debt market here. If you're interested in finding out what's going on, watch the video later on. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to cover things more than once. How high silver? People, I'm not covering that either, because you know my take with regard to the Dow gold ratio and gold silver ratio. Just watch the video, man. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, people, is there anything else you guys and girls want to cover that's new that I haven't talked about 50,000 times, all covered in this video? How low silver? Dude, the lower it go, the more I would jump on this stuff. Everyone knows that. You know that. You absolutely know that. Didn't even catch it? No, I did not catch that. No, that bull is made of nickel. It's heavy. It's real. That bull is older than most of you. My gosh, man, I got that, but it has to be, wow, maybe 1990. I don't know, something like that. It's a long time ago. I got that thing. It's an old bull, but it's still hanging on. Am I going racing? We're getting hit by a storm here. Did you hear that? Hurricane Helene, or I think it's Helene. And unfortunately, it's going to hit us. I think it's going to start tomorrow and Thursday. So unfortunately, no racing Thursday and probably not Wednesday. Wednesday showtime, Thursday. as Bradenton, and there's racing on Saturday. There's under the lights. I don't like racing at night. It looks cool, but I just don't like being the pilot of that race car. It's a little spooky, especially down at the end, man. You're flying at 160 miles an hour, and you don't know, you can't. It's difficult to see. It's not lit up down there at most tracks. They need to light up the back of that track down there. That is it. What kind of guitar is that? That is a Gibson Les Paul Custom. A very special one, by the way. It's kind of like my buddy. It's my pal back there. But it's a pretty cool instrument. Anyway, guys and girls, Blue Horseshoe said. I know what Blue Horseshoe said. You all know what Blue Horseshoe said. Anyway, guys, before I let you all go, look at this. We almost hit 1,000. I love you guys and girls. Thank you. Again, you have no Emanon. Thank you for bringing that up. People, Emanon, man. Join this community of it's so easy to become a member of Emanon, and you can do it right here, right now. All you got to do is promise to do good. Find even just once a month, do something positive for another person that maybe you don't even know. I don't know, go trim their hedges, go help an old lady walk across the street, donate some time to maybe walking someone's dog. Pay it forward. Yes, my sister's doing well, Axiom. Thank you so much. Coco is ill. It's funny that you brought that up. He was sick, unfortunately. So anyway, going back to Emanon, just say, I promise to do good, and you'll be part of Emanon, man. We're going to change the world. There's so many little things I throw out there. Now, Coco's doing okay. He's doing much better. He was a little under the weather. So anyway, that's kind of where we stand. Anyway, people, yes, volunteer at your dog shelter. Volunteer at a homeless shelter. When I was living in Las Vegas, I donated time. Me and my wife donated time at homeless shelters, just sitting there giving out the food. You want a life-changing experience? You want to realize how good you have it? Once. Do it once. Go to a homeless shelter, not for animals, for people. Go to a homeless shelter and just donate some time there. And I can promise you, you will look upon your own life in a very different light. Okay. And I can say that doing that, it really was a life-changing experience. A very good one. I've yet to do that out here, but you know what? I'm going to make that something that I'm going to do. I'm going to donate my time here at a local homeless person's shelter out here. And they always look for volunteers with serving food or cleaning up or whatever it might be. Do it. Okay. Even if you do it just once. That's it, people. We are kind of out of here. All right. Love all of you from the heart. Thank you so much for your love, your support, those thumbs up, of course, and your comments. People share this stuff. Now, listen, I don't want a single one of you to be disappointed about this. Okay. We don't have enough people here. And we need to see that 24. I was actually very surprised to see 24% are not interested in taking down the Federal Reserve. Again, I know why. They're looking at their 401ks. They're looking at their investment plans, and they're happy. They don't want to rock the boat. These people they're gonna be singing a different tune. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. You just wait. They will learn the hard way. And that's okay. We will wait for them to come around. All right. And we need to grow this channel. Obviously, we don't have enough people to do this. To take on the world's most powerful criminal organization, we need a lot of support and a lot of cash. I don't know. Maybe we need $1 million. I don't know how much we need. They have endless cash. So we need a lot of firepower. People, this guy here with all I got, inside, outside, and everywhere else, loves you. If no one else told you today, Greg Mannarino loves you, and I mean that. With that said, we are going to part ways. Now, people, again, what am I going to tell you next? Until we see each other in the morning, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, all right? I'm out of here.